So you come into a story like Thapki, expecting, a classic horror flick. Ghosts, monsters, the usual spooky stuff. But what if I told you that's not what it's really about? Today, we're going to peel back the layers and see how this story uses all the tricks of the horror genre to tell an incredibly human story. One about trauma, memory, and devastating loss.
And the story kicks off with this incredibly ominous line. The house is called Shanti Niwas, which literally means abode of peace. Sounds nice, right? Well, the very first sentence basically tells us, nope, think again. It's this instant red flag, a warning that whatever peace this place is supposed to have, it's just a mask. It forces you, the reader, to start looking for the cracks right away.
And believe me, that darkness doesn't waste any time showing up. We're immediately thrown into what should be this really happy moment. It's a little girl's birthday party. But something is just wrong. You can feel it. The whole celebration just feels off, and there's this thick, unspoken tension in the air that is just so unsettling.
This is where the story starts dropping these little breadcrumbs, these clues that something is seriously wrong here. First, you've got the mother, Yamini. She looks completely drained, with dark circles and messy hair. And her fear of the outside world, it's not just cautious, it's extreme. We're talking refusing to let her own daughter, Thapki, invite any friends over for her birthday. And then you have the father, Mayank. He's so quiet and passive that he's almost not even there. Look, these aren't just quirks. These are massive warning signs.
So picture the scene. The celebration is, well, it's not much of a celebration. It's super small, almost claustrophobic. It's just the three of them, this tiny little cake, and one single candle. But here's the detail that says it all. When Yamini goes to light that candle, her hands are trembling. It's such a small thing, right? But it's so powerful. It just completely shatters any idea that this is a happy family moment and shows you just how fragile she is.
And then, that paranoia we've been seeing, it just explodes. All it takes is her husband giving a piece of birthday cake to the building's watchman. A simple, kind gesture, but Yamini confronts him, and the fear coming off her is just suffocating. You realize this isn't just a mom being protective. No, this is a deep, desperate terror that has literally built walls around her family, cutting them off from everyone.
Okay, so this is the point where all that simmering tension from the beginning just boils over into full-blown horror. The story makes a hard pivot right here on this one terrifying event that starts as a nightmare, but then seems to just bleed right into the real world.
So the scene just cuts, it's midnight, the house is completely dark, completely silent. And then, a sound. A crying sound from downstairs wakes Yamini up. She thinks, maybe it's just part of a bad dream.
But it's not. After this truly terrifying hallucination in the living room, she bolts upstairs to Thapki's room to make sure she's okay. And that's when she sees it. The door is open, and the bed is empty.
And just like that, the story's tone shifts again. Now it's a frantic search. All the pieces are falling into place, and they're pointing to a classic, terrifying scenario. A kidnapping. I mean, look at the evidence. It's all stacking up so fast. 1, Thapki's gone from the house. 2, the front door is slightly open. And 3, the real kicker, the watchman, the exact guy Yamini was so paranoid about, is nowhere to be found. A really bad picture is starting to form here.
For Yamini, it's like her worst nightmare has just come true. She immediately connects the dots, and honestly, why wouldn't she? At this point in the story, we're right there with her. We have every reason to believe she was right all along. Suddenly, her paranoia doesn't seem so paranoid anymore. It looks like a terrifying premonition.
But then, her reaction just goes off the rails. She runs out of the house and starts doing these really erratic things, like digging through trash cans, and her mood is swinging wildly from laughing to crying. It's so extreme that you start to think, wait a minute, this is more than just a panicked mother. This is a full-on breakdown.
And this right here, this is the moment the whole story just flips on its head. Seriously, everything we thought we knew, everything we've been watching, this story about a kidnapping, a paranoid mom, a lost little girl, it's all about to be completely turned inside out.
So, what really happened to Thapki? Did the watchman do it? Was this some kind of ghostly abduction? I mean, the story has led us down a very specific path, making us think one thing. But the truth? Oh, the truth is somewhere else entirely. Because the real horror of this story isn't what happened tonight. The real horror is what happened 3 years ago. So here it is. Here's the actual story. 3 years before the night we've been watching, Yamini gets a call that her mother is very sick. So she and Thapki get on a train to go see her.
But that train, the Coromandel Express, was involved in a terrible, catastrophic crash. And in that accident, both Yamini and her daughter, Thapki, were killed.
Let that sink in for a second. Yamini and Thapki died 3 years ago. So everything we've just seen, the tense birthday party, the suffocating paranoia, the frantic search for a missing child, none of it was real. It was all a powerful, vivid hallucination happening inside the mind of the one person who survived, the father, Mayank.
And with that reveal, the whole story changes. We realize we're not watching a horror story at all, we're watching a tragedy. It was never about a mother's terror. It has always been about a father's grief. A grief so unbearable that his mind completely shattered and retreated into this world built from memories.
When you put his reality next to the actual reality, it's just heartbreaking. That tense family birthday he was experiencing, in reality, he was all alone in the house. That breakdown he saw in his wife, Yamini, no, that was him suffering a psychotic break. And his family isn't just missing, they're gone. The person who finds him in this state is his sister, Geeta, who's a doctor and has been trying to care for him this whole time.
And this is the powerful conclusion his sister comes to. Mayank he can't accept that they're gone. It's too much. So his mind built this entire fantasy world to protect him, a world where he gets to keep replaying his life with them. The truth is just too devastating to face. In a way, this delusion, this complete break from reality, has become his only way to survive.
And ultimately, that's the question this story leaves you with. It was never about ghosts or kidnappers. It's about the haunting power of grief. It really makes you wonder, can a mind get so lost in memory that the past just becomes the present? And maybe the biggest question of all, can a memory, even a deeply painful one, be the only thing that keeps someone from completely disappearing?